from all this, let's speak to the activist Leila Jazayeri from the Association of Anglo-Iranian Women, and she joins me now from London. Thank you very much indeed for talking to us, Leila. So violence returning once again to Iran amid those anti-government protests. Some reports suggesting as many as 15 people killed when unknown gunmen opened fire in different places. What can you tell us about the shooting there?
Well, I cannot confirm anything for sure, but all I know that, like in the past, the regime has this is part of the plot of the Iranian regime. They have assassinated people. If you remember, about 2 weeks ago, they went to the mosque and just gunned down the people, and people are chanting outside in the streets that this is done by Khamenei directly. They want to divert attention, basically. Khamenei has failed to contain the uprising. Today is day 62, and so far over 560 people have been killed, including many children, and over 30,000 have been arrested. The uprising, which is now a revolution in the making, has spread in all 31 provinces of Iran in over 227 cities, and it includes people from various sectors of the societies. In fact, it was announced in advance that Tuesday, Wednesday, and today, Thursday, people will commemorate the anniversary of November 2019 uprising, an uprising in which over 1,500 people were killed in a matter of 2 days. That's why there have been protests across Iran, from capital Tehran to various cities in various locations. At the same time, at least 50 cities, all universities in these cities have risen up again, as well as more strikes, including the merchants in the bazaar, the workers in the steel mill industries, and more. So it's very much nationwide, everywhere. But yes, many people have been killed. Tens of people have been shot down.
Okay.
You see, the regimes send its plainclothes, where they just go amongst people and just take off their firearm and start shooting people.
Right. Well, let's just look at some of the information that we have, because the authorities are putting it down as an attack on the security forces, although it wasn't the security forces who were killed. The security forces were killed elsewhere. I mean, there was a similar attack in Isfahan in the south of Iran, where gunmen opened fire. Again, unclear who, but this time it was 2 members of the security forces that were killed.
Well, the regime is heavily armed. They bring machine guns into the streets. They shoot people from the skies. And people are people need to defend themselves empty-handed. As you may know, last week, the Iranian regime representative in the regime's parliament have also called for execution of all those arrested. The international community cannot stay silent anymore. We cannot just by word condemning the atrocities. I mean, look, today and tomorrow, the Western powers, the Americans, the world powers are sitting at a negotiation table with the regime that is killing, that is committing crime against humanity over nuclear program of the regime. How could you negotiate with such a regime that is massacring its own people? How could you negotiate with a regime that is determined to acquire a nuclear bomb? It's wrong.
Yeah, Leila, I think you have a point there, because I mean, we've seen people condemned to death for taking part in those protests, and that is, I would imagine, for most people around the world, unacceptable. But a line that's been coming up more and more from the authorities is that Israel and Western intelligence services are trying to sow division and cause civil war in Iran. Is there an element of perhaps truth there, no matter how small? Because in some of those areas, you've got the Arab Persian communities, the Kurds and the Azeris, etc., who feel they've been so downtrodden for so long that they do want a form of separatism. Is that what the Iranian authorities are trying to build on in their narrative?
It is actually all coming from the Ministry of Intelligence of this regime. It's all propaganda by the regime. In fact, in this uprising, various minorities of Iran, ethnic minorities from Kurdistan to Zahedan to the Arab communities, they have all been united. They're all chanting death to Khamenei, death to the dictator, and death to the oppressor, be it the Shah, the previous monarchy, or the supreme leader. They are united. They say from Zahedan to Tehran, I sacrificed my life for Iran. In fact, they have shown, the people have shown that they are united. They have one enemy, and that is the regime. All this propaganda, all these, they are all propaganda about separatism. None of this exists in Iran. In fact, the regime has failed to contain this uprising. They have failed despite brutal suppression, despite massacre. They have failed because this is a well-organized resistance movement, and people from across Iran are participating. That is why they are resorting to this kind of tactics and propaganda and massacre. Otherwise, no, none of these are true.
Leila, I want to thank you very much indeed again for your very interesting analysis.
I have 1 minute, 1 second. Can I just add? In a state of the negotiation with this regime, we asked the Europeans, the Western powers, to go behind Iranian people and recognize their rights for self-defense against a regime that is heavily armed and killing its own people. And in a state of negotiating with the regime, enlist, designate IRGC, the suppressive forces, as terrorist entities. In a state of negotiating with the regime, send the dossier of human rights of this regime.
Right. I'm really sorry, Leila, but we're going to have to leave it there. But thank you very much indeed. And Leila Jazayeri is the director of the Association of Anglo-Iranian Women in the UK, and they've been working with the Iranian opposition, the NCRI.